Welcome to Glow Up or Get Out.
Hello.
Marcus!
I see Melissa is on the Clubhouse, so I was like, I gotta say what's up.
We are about to record our podcast on how to pitch ourselves, so we thought we'd just record this too.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So you're just basically logging in to record the podcast and kind of like just...
Yep. We are live recording.
So Marcus is totally interrupting your podcast.
Marcus, you may be, but it's okay. You can get 2 features in this
season.
Hey, I'm just supporting you guys. I got stuff to do. I have a meeting in 1 minute.
Oh!
Good luck with that meeting.
So today, we're going to be talking about how to pitch yourself, more so how we pitch ourselves, and hopefully you can take some tips, some of our tricks, and use them to pitch yourself. Let's get into it. First thing, finding clients.
Yeah, so I think that's like the most difficult part. Obviously, like creating the pitch and everything is a whole other beast. But yeah, finding the clients, we usually just tend to look on Instagram because that is what we mostly focus on, and having that availability to see, like, you know, maybe this company isn't doing this well, or it's not doing everything that it could be doing. We can add some value here. It's really good for us to see it in that form.
Yeah.
So we usually just tend to look on Instagram.
But we also just come across people on Instagram. So it's like you get ads. So they know what we like. And we obviously want to work with brands that we genuinely would like to represent or help represent their brand.
Yeah, it's not always like somebody who is like in dire need of like assistance. It's sometimes just like we can create really cool content for them that they can post. You know, it's not like
that theirs sucks or something.
Anything like that.
But that's also something to look for. Like, don't just look at every brand and be like, oh, they don't need me, or I can bring nothing valuable to them or something, because it doesn't hurt to ask. Like, even if their stuff is perfect, but you feel like, oh, but like I could do something really cool, ask. Like, the worst thing that's gonna happen is say no, like, we don't have the budget, or we don't want to, or they just don't respond.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how many clients we've come across where they look like they have everything together, and for the most part do, but they always appreciate somebody doing some extra content, because I mean, for people who don't necessarily do this all the time, and if you haven't gotten to the point where you're consistently like trying to or schedule out your content, you're like, all right, it's just like posting a couple times a week, whatever.
Yeah.
But when you finally get to it, you're like running out of shit to post.
It's nice to get fresh ideas.
Right. It's nice to have somebody wanting to give you like new perspective, or just like some content to just that you know is like ready to post, and you're like, cool, I don't even have to take it for this week.
Yeah.
Like,
regardless
really
of what
nice.
you're offering also, since we obviously are offering content, but we'll talk about that in like what we put in our pitch.
Totally.
Basically. But yes, very good point. That people just love, like, especially if you come to them. Like, what's better than that?
Yeah.
It's like you're hungry and all of a sudden food's at your door.
Totally.
What the fuck?
So by finding clients on Instagram, we obviously look into our specific niches. So Sam and I, for Glow Getter Collective, we do things from lifestyle, beauty, health and wellness,
women-owned brands, and anything in those specific categories. And we just reach out. And it's nice with Instagram because, like, you know, fuck the algorithm, but like they find us sometimes. Like the brands will be like, oh, and we're like, oh wait, what the fuck? Like this brand's really cool. So sometimes it works out. That's why we genuinely like Instagram to be our number one source. And then second would be just being naturally referred, like word of mouth from friends, family.
Which that naturally will come to.
That just happens.
Yeah.
I feel like you could also do just other social platforms. LinkedIn.
Yeah, don't be shy to look like on other platforms. I think just
TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok is a really good one, especially if you do focus on like TikTok content. That'd be really good for you.
All right, so you found your clients. What now? What do you do with them? So for us, we have like a general template of what we send a client, and we do this through Instagram DMs. We've tried a few different ways. We've tried emailing. We didn't really try in person that much, but that's because it was COVID, so we couldn't really.
Yeah.
But that's
our
also
our next venture.
Also a really good way to pitch yourself in person. A little scarier.
It's a lot harder to say no to somebody in person, though. So
yes,
that's why that works out too.
So DMing them is what we do, and we find that to have a double-edged sword situation, because if you're DMing a brand, you got a 50-50 chance that it's either the owner who needs help, or it's a social media team who does not want you to interfere with their work at all. They're like, nope, we don't need you. Like, we got this covered. Please don't. But even then, we find that, like, if it's a team already, they just say, like, oh, like, we already have a team. Thank you so much for reaching out.
Like, and that's that.
Worst case scenario. Another thing that we've run across that could be bad would just, like, they think you're trying to, like, collaborate. So if you're an agency, you're not necessarily trying to collaborate, like, in an influencer way. You're more so trying to, like, pitch your services. Even if you make that really clear, sometimes, you know, people who run Instagram DMs for brands don't really pay attention, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's still worth using that email, contacting it, because it gets to the right person. You can email them as well. Or if you find that you really like the brand and they either look at your message and don't respond, or they never look at your message, go to LinkedIn, look at who is, like, the director of marketing or partnerships and collaborations. If you're an influencer, like, find the person who would be in charge of that, email them, and
shoot them a message.
Yeah, or DM them. Find them on Instagram and DM them. You just have, like, a way better chance of them being like, wow, they went through the extra effort to find me.
Yeah, it also just looks, like, really professional on your end. I know you might think you might look like a stalker, but it's, like, the quiet opposite. It's more like you're intuitive enough or knowledgeable enough to know who to contact. That would show, like, oh, this person's actually serious, versus, like, it just being, like, it's just another influencer that wants to get paid.
Are really dedicated to the brand. Like, they really like it to where they want to reach out to someone within the company directly.
Right.
So, yeah.
As far as the message that we send, we make it pretty casual because you don't want to sound like
it's copy and paste.
Right. And, like, make it enticing and also kind of personalized to the brand itself. We always like to start with something like, for example, Glossier. We just recently reached out to them, and although we didn't get the response that we really wanted, I think it was good practice to say, like, we love your brand for this certain reason and for this amount of time. We'd love to collaborate in creating some content together or whatever. That makes them realize that you're just not some random person who just wants free product or whatever.
And who just, like, saw your page, saw the amount of followers, and is like, give me free stuff.
Yeah. Because Instagram, I guess, at the end of the day, can be pretty cutthroat about how you, like, talk to one another, but making it casual and enticing of, like, hey, I really love you, like, I genuinely do.
Yeah.
Makes it a lot easier for them to want to click it and also even respond.
Especially because if you go to your DMs, you only see, like, the first, I don't know, it depends on how long your words are, but, like, the first 8 words maybe.
Yeah.
So if there's something like, hey, my name is, and I want to, it's like,
whatever.
Like, I don't want to open that. But if it's like, oh my God, I love this product, and then you have, like, your pitch underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, what you like about them first.
What you like about them.
And then after that, saying what you're offering. So what are you actually going to do for them? And that honestly depends on what your business is, I guess. Like, if you're an agency or an influencer, but, like, what you're willing to offer. And that can be something for free. It can be a discount. It could just be letting them know what your services are in general. We found that people often say yes to free stuff because obviously it's free. Like, what's the harm?
Yeah. Also, don't be afraid to do a couple free things, because sometimes, I think, again, because it's so cutthroat these days, it's no longer very, like, exciting to just send somebody your product. I think now it's a lot more, like, rare to do that. So if somebody does send you something for free, you can then take that relationship. You're building that relationship. So take that relationship then. Show them what you can do for them. Give them a little bit something, you know?
Yeah.
Something free. And then later, you're like, honestly, like, I really love working with your team. Can we set something up for...
Yeah. We've had things turn from free to paid opportunities. So it's like sometimes doing one free thing, or I mean, at the beginning it was like multiple free things for one company, but I think, you know, you could offer like a smaller thing that doesn't take as much time for you, or just one piece of content for free. And then in the future, if you really perform on that, obviously they're going to want to pay you for more.
Yeah. So after you basically state what you're offering, or what your offerings are, or your services, or whatever it is, I would also maybe check in with also like saying why this like suits them, or like aligns to their needs or their values or whatever. Then after that, you want to definitely create a call to action, or this would be just something for that person who did like what you just said to have something to do afterwards. So either that being like emailing you, or like your email, your contact information, or if you have something like, for example, we have what we call our investment guide, which is basically like our pricing list. So we send like a link at the bottom of the message so that they can just click it, and then it goes to the pricing guide, and they can take a look at that. And it also is more detailed than your message. So if they were interested in like you making content for them, they would go to the section where it talks about content, and it specifically states what you do. And I think that's really nice, because they don't necessarily even have to message you again to ask you more about it. You're kind of just giving it all. You're like, hey, this is what I got to offer. Let me know if you're interested. Yeah.
So in the case that a client comes to you, you don't really have to pitch to them, because they obviously already have an idea of what your services are. So in cases where clients have found us, that's when we really solidified our website. We got it on Wix, and it's an SEO god now. And we ran an ad for it. And yeah, if you look up LA Marketing Agency, we are now one of the first to pop up on Google. Not the first, I wish, but
one of the first.
We come up now. So on our page, we have a contact form, and that's how people contact us. But there is still a pitch after that, because, you know, it's like the introductory consultation where we find out what they need, and then we can properly pitch to them, like, this is what you need from us, basically. Even though they know they need us, they say, what can we actually do? Which is like a whole nother
thing.
Whole nother beast. But once you're connected, so let's say they respond to your DM, your email, whatever. I guess it depends on how much information you gave them initially, but then you exchange, you know, like the full information, details, like deliverables, exactly what you're going to give them. Or like if you're offering services, what services you think actually are the best for them and how much they might cost, and laying out, I guess, like a more thorough pitch. Not necessarily just like to get your foot in the door, but like pitch. And then you just seal the deal.
Seal that deal.
Which would be your contract, deliver on those deliverables, checking in with your clients.
Sending those invoices.
And then sending those checks or direct deposits.
What else?
I'm trying to think, like, I guess, like, the bigger beast of pitching yourself. Like, not, like, beyond Instagram, because that's literally just getting your foot in the door, which it still matters, obviously. But, like, the bigger pitch of, like, detailing what you need. It depends on, I guess, if you're an influencer, you don't have to, like, present this whole, like...
Yeah.
You don't have to do, like, a Zoom call and present. They don't care that much. But if you sent them, you know, your media kit, etc., which we are going to talk about influencer marketing in a whole nother episode. So if you're looking for specifically influencer, just wait.
We got you.
We got you.
Also, if you're looking to find influencers and how to contact them, wait.
Yes. And
another time.
The right prices, how to get them, what's fair.
Right.
Later. But I guess this is more agency-based. Pitching yourself after the initial pitch is just way more tailored, basically.
Yeah. So what we call the pitch specifically is like our proposal. It's just like another term.
Yeah.
So for this specific company that we're doing, they are launching their brand, so they don't necessarily have like a marketing team set up yet. So we had to kind of like lay out boundaries or lay out what we're going to be to them. Mm-hmm. And we said we would be a full service marketing agency to them.
And then we explained like what are the benefits to having an in-house team versus a full-service marketing agency like ourselves. So we talked about things like the size of the organization, communication skills, work dynamic, technology, and cost. So obviously we're just, you know, really trying to push like we're the more cost-effective, efficient. I like those two.
Cost effective. Cost efficient.
Anyways,
we're trying to sound...
We're better.
We are trying to just make this digestible
yeah, we make it pretty also.
Yeah, that too. But make it more digestible to understand why it is like that we are a better service than hiring a full team right now.
Yeah. Especially
when it's just like the beginning.
Next thing we would say is our actual proposal. So what services we want them to take from us. So it would be like ideation and creation implementation. Basically just a general sentence of what that looks like.
Yeah. In that though, like if you're an agency, try to not be so strict or like don't try to fit every package the way that it is to every single person. Obviously, to not make things so complicated, don't change things too much. But we definitely like to bundle things up sometimes.
That was the hardest thing for us because by no means are we experts. This is like the first full-blown pitch that we've done. That was like serious. Not the other ones weren't serious, but like the most serious. Like we really needed to have our shit together for it. And I feel like we just learned a lot since the beginning. And like we've made our services like list so many times, and I feel like now we truly understand the things we're really, really good at, the things we actually really enjoy, the things that we're good at but don't necessarily like doing. We understand what makes sense to bundle. We understand what makes sense to leave out of packages. Like, I feel like we, at the beginning, were very stuck on, like, making things cut and dry. Like, no, you need the ideation package. Or, like, no, you need to get creation only. But it's like, sometimes people just need
a mix of things.
So...
And you don't necessarily, like, need to create a whole other package for that. It's just, like, saying, all right, we're going to do mostly this one, but I'm going to give you a little more of this. So let's just bump the price up a little bit because we're giving you just a little bit more than what we usually do for that one package.
Right.
But yeah, so that gets just like the point of that. It was just don't be too strict with yourself and what you've currently listed as your offerings.
Yeah. And we even leave room for like if someone wanted help with something outside of what we listed as a service, that maybe we could help them with that still. Like website isn't necessarily in any of our packages, but potentially that's something that we could help you with because we know how to make websites. It's just not necessarily our like, this is our number one package because we love doing it. But it's like, if we're already working with you, we understand your brand, we understand what your vibe is. Like, why wouldn't we make the, like, yeah. So then after that, we basically just break down the actual package itself with the deliverables, timeline, and price.
Yeah.
Which be as thorough as possible on that. Like, what does the deliverable look like? Where will they receive that deliverable? Stuff like that. Last thing was timeline. So basically the different steps and what part of the steps they would need to be included on. Like meetings, things like that. And then a total price.
Yeah, which then you can like be very transparent about what you're charging for. And
how often they're charged or whatever. Because you don't, the last thing you want is someone to sign up and be like, oh, I didn't know that was monthly. Or, oh, I didn't understand that this was just like a setup fee or whatever.
Yeah.
Be very clear. Which you can also do in the invoice after the fact, or if you're presenting it, say it out loud.
Totally.
But yeah, pitches are a beast, to say the least. But
I guess just like some final... thoughts and tips is like don't be discouraged. You're gonna get a lot of no's. We've gotten a lot of no's, but that's just like the nature of it, you know. You're gonna have to be told no, but you just keep trying or keep proving yourself. Not necessarily proving yourself, but keep believing that you can provide something for someone, and especially if that's what you really want to be doing.
Yeah, and it's so rewarding when someone finally does believe in you. You're like, oh snap. And then it's a little scary because you're like, holy shit, someone believes in me and I gotta deliver.
Yeah.
But it's good pressure. I feel like as entrepreneurs, you kind of thrive off of stuff like that. Well, we've refined our pitch also. So like, if this is the first time you're ever gonna pitch to a brand on Instagram, don't be scared that like your pitch is like not perfect or like you think it's a little cheesy or you're not sure. Like, it's also good to just test it. Like, if somebody responds to that, it's clearly not the worst pitch ever. If you've gotten no's and it's been months, maybe think about changing up the pitch. Or
maybe
offering...
not months, maybe like a couple of weeks.
I mean, depending on what you're doing there, yeah. But changing up your pitch in terms of what you're actually offering, too. Which we are just now transitioning into a different pitch of what we're offering.
Like we said, because we did go from listing a lot of free work to try to turn that into a relationship, which we have. That totally worked and will continue to work. We might still be doing that. I don't know. But we're trying a new version of what we pitched before that isn't necessarily free anymore to see if
someone would just be interested in our services in general.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, sometimes people are looking for it, but they don't have time. So if someone comes to their door...
Why not? The worst thing that's going to happen is you get a no.
Yeah. We'll see you guys in glowing hour.
That's it. We'll figure it out.
So, we're back. And we thought it'd be kind of funny to look through our old Instagram DMs / pitches to see just exactly what we were saying to people. And some of the responses we got. Have a good laugh about it.
Have a good cry.
Probably a few cries.
Watching video, you can see me scrolling. Like, that's how much we've pitched. So, again...
hundreds of brands.
Do not be discouraged. We're going to get a lot of no's.
Almost forgot the drinks.
Here they are.
But we brought them, so.
Cheers.
It tastes like grass. Not grass, but like...
It smells like a Jolly Rancher, but does not taste like one, I gotta say.
But it's also not sweet. It's like...
It tastes like...
I don't know. It's an Absolute vodka sparkling seltzer. I don't know.
Anyway.
Don't hate it.
I don't hate it.
So, pitches.
So, what we said, basically, was we fell in love with your brand and want to help take your online presence to the next level. We would love to pitch some specific marketing campaign ideas over a quick call. We offer a few different services. Let us know if it's something you would be interested. Not even interested in, just interested.
I'm dead. What? This is hilarious.
If not, we would love to be referred to anyone who would be. We are a small business just getting started and would love to showcase our skills. If you're reading this far, thank you. We are real people with real ideas, not just internet trolls. Take a chance on us. We won't disappoint. Mel and Sam.
With emojis.
Which I think some do the emojis, but...
Yeah. Wait. Okay, so we didn't even offer them anything really for free. We technically said we'll jump on a call and give you ideas, but like also that's a lot of work for someone.
Yeah.
And they didn't even open it, so...
So that's great.
Well, did anyone open it and respond to that?
That
specific one?
So, Olipop. Okay. This was before they blew up low-key.
If we would have had a better pitch, maybe it would have worked out.
We said the same thing, basically. And then they said, hey, love, thank you for your interest in Olipop. We're reviewing these requests on a rolling basis, and we'll get back to you if this is of interest. Stay safe and healthy out there.
During COVID.
And then we said, we appreciate you. Please keep us in mind for any marketing you might need in the future. We have a free ebook available on our bio as well if you're interested in any free resources.
I mean...
Not bad, but kind of embarrassing.
Like, kind of cute. We said we have a free ebook, but also, like, we could have maybe sealed the deal a little more and said something like, cool, like, we'll reach out in a month, and then we should have put it on our calendar to reach out in a month. So, missed opportunity there. We could totally still reach out again, I guess, but that was one.
So, one that went well but didn't follow through. We said the same things, and then they responded, hey, thanks for reaching out. Would be happy to chat. Feel free to send an email to the email, and here's a link to my calendar so you can book a convenient time. And then we said, thank you so much for giving us a good contact. We will be reaching out soon. Excited to chat. And I think we did chat with him briefly.
I'm gonna look it up.
We had some cool stuff set up, but I don't really know what happened. I think he just got really busy and COVID hit, and then it was just like,
okay,
you know.
Here. So we sent him our contracting pitch, which, what the fuck is this? Oh God, I forgot about this. Oh. So we apparently sent out a pitch in our email response, hiring versus contracting. What's the point? So we gave reasons on why to hire versus why to contract. Fair enough. Getting to know us, and then our values, which they weren't as concrete as they are now. We said small business oriented, sustainably aware, creatively distinct, and female owned. Okay, and then we introduced ourselves, whatever, and then we put the nitty gritty, and like it's not even that nitty or gritty. Like it says ideation package, brainstorming, mood boarding, and basic branding.
Also, our branding was just...
It wasn't as cute, you guys. We've come a long way. Oh, we gave a sample campaign of what we've pitched, I guess, to other people, which, holy crap, this was like really a vibe. So we put a sample campaign, and then we said opportunity. Freelancers have fresh eyes and a different perspective outside of your company culture. Period. And then there was a contact page. So that's fun. He liked it. He didn't hate it. He said he would get back to us and then asked for rates, which we had a general price breakdown. Wow, it's changed a lot. So we had that. We sent it, and then he said, looks great. Followed up with him, and then he just said that his timeline's been delayed. So we'd have to circle back in a month. So that's just kind of how things kept getting lost.
Yeah. Next.
Who else did we chat with? Also, sometimes we reached out. Also, another thing agencies could do. What did we say to Gary Vee? Like,
we said some dumb shit.
Can we talk to you? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Didn't even open it.
Here's one that's like very generally what happens is we usually just...
Is it the same? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. And then they said, thank you so much for reaching out. We're currently looking for social media help, but we're not looking for social media help. But if that changes, we'll reach back out. That's usually like the general gist of what they say. If they understand like that we're a service and not like some influencers.
But also they won't reach back out.
So yeah, they don't.
You have, because I mean, I'm sure tons of people reach out to them. So you have to do the work. You have to chase the bag.
Totally.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say about influencers. Like if you're an agency and you want to offer that as part of your packages, definitely reach out to influencers and just say, hey, I'd love to add you to my deck. Like I work with clients. Can I get your contact info if I were to ever have like a client? I mean, you should have a few clients in mind for this influencer. Don't just like reach out to people and then not reach back out for months.
Totally. Okay,
here we go.
It's a little bit different. Still start with, we fell in love with your brand. I'm huge fans of
brand name,
blah, blah, blah.
Or person.
And then we said, like the meat of the message was just, we would love to create a campaign for free for any upcoming events, holidays, or launches for your IG feed. This will give you free content to work with. If you're not interested, we would love to be referred to anyone who would be. Blah, 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 blah. Same gist as before. But this time, we're just stating, like, hey, if you're interested, we're down to do some shit for free.
We're going to give you this specific thing for free, which we did it a month later. So it took us a month to realize, okay. Maybe this pitch isn't the best. Yeah, there's a lot. Maybe like 80% are unopened, or just no response at least. We've literally sent our address to people to send us product to make this content, and they just never do it.
Yeah.
So you can get far in the process, and then they just ghost you.
So we said the same thing about creating a campaign for free, blah, blah, blah. And they said, hi, thanks for your kind offer. We are really short on content, yada, yada, yada.
So she basically said what they need.
Something you wanted to take a crack at, we'd be happy to send you guys some product. And this is where we're telling you that sometimes brands are just short on content and they don't have necessarily people sending back photos that would represent their products well. So then that's when we said, that's exactly what we were thinking. We would love to take some photos of the products being used. And then we just asked them a couple questions, which I don't know if we would do this still, but we said, number one, describe who you're targeting in this product. What do you want this product to embody? For example, the message or the feeling. And, you know,
they answered.
We thanked them and then said we got a good grasp of it and we'll be thinking of content to create. And then we sent our address, yada, yada, yada happened. We received the package, waited a really long time, which are bad. because we got really busy at that point. I don't know why.
We did
create some cool content for this brand. They just said, "Hi, Mel and Sam. Thank you for reaching out and your kind words about blank. We'd love to take you up on your offer. Let me know what you had in mind. I love the realness on your page and think you could create some awesome images for us. Do you want to email over any ideas to blank and we can chat about the details?" And then we did. The process was great. I don't know.
We got product. We took content.
We took really cool content for them, free content. And then it turned into something that was later like, hey, we need a couple videos for our website and we need some extra content for our feed of the product being used or squeezed or whatever. They're very specific. And then we did that.
Yeah.
Again, it wasn't necessarily like one of our big packages, but we decided,
Yeah. And now we, from that experience, I think, are more open to that because it's also a lot better for our schedule, because if we have only full-time clients that have these packages, it's kind of a lot. Like, we'd have to hire someone a lot sooner, but if we can have some small stuff in between here and there,
it just works better for us too.
Yeah. So you learn more about your business also through this process. But yeah, don't get discouraged. Keep trying. Should we say what our freaking current pitch is or no?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
So our current pitch: we fell in love with your brand and would love to work with you. We are a social media marketing agency that focuses on brand identity, content creation, and social strategy. We would be excited to create something to elevate you even further. Take a look at our investment guide to see specifically the services we offer and what fits your brand's needs. We would love to set up a call to chat. If you're not interested, we would love to be referred to anyone who would be. We are a small business just getting started and would love to showcase our skills. If you're reading this far, thank you. We are real people with real ideas, not just internet trolls. Take a chance on us. We won't disappoint. And then we sent our investment guide link and then closed it off with Mel and Sam.
But it has to be a link. Also, don't send the PDF file. It has to be a link that you can click.
And then, we got an email, which is great. If you got an email, that's an extra to just move it even further to, hey, like, I really want to do this for you.
And we'll probably change it again in a month or something. See how it goes. Yeah, pretty much every month, just change it up. Unless it's going very well for you, then don't change it.
Yeah.
But yes, so if you guys have any other questions on pitching, hit us on Instagram in the DMs or comment on the video, I guess, if you're on YouTube. But we'd love to chat more about it if you have questions related specifically to your business. Yeah, we'll see you guys in next week's episode.